sister to your cousin, a sister to your friends. And so, each of these stages of your life imputes on you certain responsibilities. That's why you find the little children, when they are playing around, as the little sister that you are, a potential mother, you carry the baby at your back and say, Tata, don't cry. Tata, don't cry. And your brothers will be running around. And then when your mother has gone out, you will go out and say, let us go and cook. You go and bring tomatoes container and few other things and form a fire. And you go outside and cut water leaf and all that and bring them together. And you do mock cooking. You cook a food made with vegetable and what? Water leaf that will be drawing and drawing. And thereafter, every other person brings mock plates and you dish the food as a what? Sister to your brothers in the house. And in that way, sometimes even when the parents go out and buy something for you, you will run. They just bought it just for you. You will hide and go and call your brother and you begin to do what? You share and give to them. That other dimension of you as a woman is being displayed. And from that moment, you move again over to becoming a wife. A wife that eventually begins to care for your husband. And then when the children begin to come, you care for your husband and you care for your what? For your children. And then you begin to build a home. And that is when they begin to call you what? Mother. You have graduated from sister to daughter to sister to what? Mother. That is the life of the woman. And from this stage of life again, you now discover that you become a sister-in-law to your husband's brothers and sisters. From that you become a mother what? In-law. When the children have grown and you have become a mother, and from being a mother-in-law, you become a what? Grand what? Mother. You become a model of care, of love. You become a rallying point in the family. That is the kind of life that Dorcas showed today. And so, my dear friends, when we realize who we are, the responsibility that God has given unto us, we cannot but make efforts to live in that way. And so the question is, am I really living out this? And then in our contemporary time, you also see some of us branching off to becoming career women. Those who are lawyers, those who become lawyers, those who become accountants, those who become lecturers. And you also see that in this domain of life, in these domains of life, that you are not just a lecturer, but you bring to bear that woman character, that character of the mother that distinguishes you. And in that part of life, you become someone that people depend on. That's why it's very unfortunate that sometimes in our higher institutions, you meet some female lecturers, they are so wicked to the students, when ordinarily they are supposed to be like mothers. And so there is something special about you. And that's why also, even in the church, sometimes it's as if the women are in the forefront and men try to compete with them. Hillary, why are you eyeing me now that I'm talking about them? That the women are in the forefront and the men keep on struggling to see how they beat the women, but they cannot beat the women. Because that's the way God has made them. They care and they take care of every other thing. And so, my dear mothers and my dear sisters, let us learn to discover that special side of us that God has given to us. It's not bought in the market. It came with you. According to the normal language, you say, Obo oburu begene potowa. You came with it. It's a part and parcel of you as a woman. And so, learn to see how you be a model in your home, in the society, in the church. And in that way, we have a better world. And then, just one thing again Jesus said in the gospel of today. The message of God or the word of God is a message that unseats odds. It's not a message that must always speak what you like. Because Jesus, when he told the people, a lot of them became so worried that he had said, unless you eat this flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. And then he turned to his disciples and he said, do you also want to go away because I have said this? Sometimes we don't have to always say what you want to hear, but the truth must be said. If you are not living a life worthy of your calling, let God's Spirit locate you. Let God's Spirit revive you. And let God's Spirit give you the strength to indeed be a model of love, compassion, mercy, and charity. Peace be with you.
Bịanụ nye Chineke ekele, bịanụ nyenụ Chineke aja otuto, bịanụ nyenụ Chineke ekele.